The great Eddie Hearn, live from the Gold Coast press conference desk. Look at this. Great to see you in Australia,
Yeah. Oh,
sir.
unbelievable. I don't know what day it is, just got in, but we've just finished the presser. Can't wait for Wednesday night, mate. What a fight. What a
Got
fight
a
to kick the
hell of
year.
a fight and a hell of a card, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I still cannot believe we just obviously did the head to head. I can't believe this fight's happening between Opetara and Nyika. Like, for me, this was a fight that 12 months down the line was going to be one of the biggest fights, in Australian World Championship history. But we're getting it on Wednesday night. We're getting it because Nyika fancies the job.
Mm.
He just believes, and he's a serious fighter. It's definitely too early for him, but he can still win. But this is a guy, two-time Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Olympian, 10-0, talented fighter, but he is up against a real animal, the best cruiserweight in the world in Jai Opetaia.
We haven't had a lot of luck with Aussies putting their belts on the line in the last 12 months. So hopefully for
Yeah,
July, we can get this done again. But look, Naika is still ranked number 10. Like, no, we can't overlook that, right? 10 and 0 and still ranked with the IBF quite heavily. So he's got the skills to pay the bills on that.
serious fighter. I mean, it's like I said, it's too early for him because normally you would want a fighter to take a couple of 10 rounders, couple of 12 rounders. But if you believe you can win, why not roll the dice? Like Naika has a chance to become world champion, Ring Magazine champion in one fight. And Jai's got to protect the throne on Wednesday.
Well, it is the champion returning home to the Gold Coast, and it's always great to have you in too. With one card that is looking well, there's stacked cards. Like you've heard that saying probably more times than anyone on earth, but it's a genuine stacked card. This one, this ain't a boxing hype stack card. This is
I can believe when Mick Francis showed me the card, I was like, why have you got so many fights? He's like, look, it's a Riyadh season card. We really want to, give everybody value for money to kickstart a big 2025 for Australian boxing. And, you know, Justice Honey, our heavyweight charge with Mick, great fight for him, great young talent. Terra Moana, another one of our great young heavyweights as well. Great fights for Ben Marnie as well, Gold Coast kid. I just met this Max McIntyre, I really like him. Listen, there's so many great fighters from Australia, but it's really good to be doing a big Australian fight night. And it's a big night at World Championship Boxing.
you doing any fighter shopping while you're out here? You've been signing the Aussies like they're nothing at the
Yeah,
moment. Just
I think that every Australian fighter wants to fight internationally. You've seen George Kambosos do it originally, when he beat Teofimo Lopez. You've seen Liam Paro dethrone Subriel Matias on the road. You've seen Sky Nicholson fighting in the US and in the UK as well. But it'd just be good to have those big nights. And I'm looking to do 4 or 5 shows in Australia this year. We're going to be announcing something with George Kambosos very soon. Looks like March. It's going to be a big card. So yeah, it's a great market, and looking forward to it.
does it help now that DAZN have had the purchase of Foxtel officially locked away? I'm sure that won't change for some time. I believe the deal settles at the end of the year, but there's a landscape that might change. You've always been critical, and rightly so, about the pay-per-view wall. Maybe there's some changes coming. Who knows? But what do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Foxtel news is fantastic for us and DAZN, but with even without that, we've still got a desire and a belief that we can take Australian boxing to another level. And we have a big global vision, and we're active in many key markets. And I really see Australia as a key market. I think I've said it to you before. Like we're just like you guys, the Brits and the Aussies. We love great sport. We love great fights. We like a beer. We like a night out. Like it's not rocket science, is it? But we've got to showcase the product to the mass audience, and putting it behind that pay-per-view wall is sometimes difficult. Look, you get people like Opetia, Kambosos, Zoo. They are pay-per-view fighters in Australia. That's okay. But there's other guys. I mean, Terra Moana, great example. Like, you've got to showcase him to a big audience. We're doing that globally around, our shows, but it would be great to get some more activity in Australia regularly for those guys.
Yeah, he looked great too, by the way, Terra Moana in his last
Good
outing,
fighter.
and
Yeah.
looked like he was right at
Good
home.
fighter, great personality, serious talent.
Looked like he was right at home at Matchroom HQ when he went to sign
Yeah,
the work as well. I thought he was
yeah,
going to
we
stay
like,
there.
we like that. I think that at the same time, it's like you've got to have personality, but you've got to be able to fight. He's got both, so I think he's the full package.
Yeah, obviously with Jai, the dream is that he goes through David Nyika on Wednesday night, and the odds are in that favour. However, we've seen some stuff swing, but how quick do you think you can turn around a unification? And do you think Zerto will lock this in, or is there potentially
I
maybe?
don't really think there's anything else for Jai to do if he comes through Wednesday night than unify the division. And the Zerdo Ramirez fight for me, one of the best fights in boxing. The WBC championship's a bit up in the air, but in all our conversations with Spencer Brown of Gold Star and Mick Francis and Turkey Al Sheikh, that's the only thing to do: become undisputed and then move up. And there's a lot of people talking about the Usyk fight and stuff like that. I think in time that could be a tremendous fight, but we got business to take care of at cruiserweight, and hopefully that involves seeing him capture those belts.
By the time he does get to heavyweight, I heard Mick Francis say the other day he'll unify and then potentially look at heavyweight if that's the way it goes. We'll soon see. But by the time he gets there, I think like you see a few that might taper out, and he could really even be the king of heavyweight within the next
Yeah,
2 years.
a lot of those guys, Usyk, AJ, Fury, they're all mid-30s, sort of coming to the last chat. Obviously, you got Dubois, you got Moses Atama, you got Justice Honey, you got Terra Moana. These are the young charges coming through. But yeah, I think Jai is going to be around for a long time, and he's never going to be a big heavyweight, but nor's Alexander Usyk,
Yeah.
and he's beaten everybody.
Exhibit A, right? That is one hell of a fight.
Yep.
That's something I would love to see. And I actually genuinely think Jai is a real
I
competitive
think it
fighter
could be his
fighter.
toughest fight. Yeah,
Yeah. Any way of swooning Usyk to Australia? I mean, if you're going to back something down, I mean, who knows?
yeah. Why
What do
not?
you want to do with the George Kambosos fight? And what do we know about his opponent? I've heard some rumors floating around and I've seen some things, but I've never seen anything official.
Yeah, with no official opponent yet. March, we're looking at hopefully bringing him back to Sydney. It's been 8 years since he's boxed there. We need a good sort of top 15 opponent at 140. We want to move forward with the Richardson Hitchens fight with George Kambosos. I think that's a massive fight for Australia and America as well. But we need to settle him into that weight class. So we'll be looking at a show in March with Ludabella and probably Mick as well, where George will be fighting a top 15 guy. Sky Nicholson will be fighting, either defending her world championship against Tiara Brown or unifying. Shanika Johnson, potentially against Nina Hughes, that rematch. And then, of course, you've got Justice Honey, you've got Connor Wallace, you've got maybe Liam Paro, we've got Terra Moana. Like, we've just got so many fighters to get out. And, this will be my second show on the Gold Coast, and it would be great to go to Sydney. And hopefully we can do that in March.
I've been hanging for George Kambosos to fight in Sydney for a while. Obviously, you just
Oh,
said
yeah.
8 years, but like it was
Well, look,
almost not.
we've had offers from multiple sites to stage a Kambosos fight, but at the moment George is really digging his heels in to bring a fight home to
Yeah.
Sydney. So that looks like where we'll be.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, and we look forward to that one. Just quickly, do you see Jai Opetia putting on who puts on the best performance, Jai Opetia or Luke Littler? What's performance of the year
Yeah,
so far?
that's difficult to overcome, mate. I mean, listen, darts is another one in Australia. We're flying with darts in Australia, and Luke Littler, that World Championship was huge, huge viewing figures, and that's another global superstar. To keep darts rocking on.
Yeah, that was awesome. I actually met the Russ that does 180 when he was
Yeah,
last out.
yeah, Ross Frey.
It was awesome. I met all the
Yeah.
guys. So yeah, we look forward to this Wednesday night. You can get it, Eddie Hearn. Give me the big one. Is it going the distance or is it a knockout either way?
I think it'll be a Jai Opetia stoppage, but I tell you what, it's not going to be easy. Nyika's up for this, and he's a quality fighter.
And just lastly, when you're going to see Turkey Al Sheikh on Cavalav in the Gold Coast, just in board shorts, just cruising.
No, you're not, but I know he'll be watching like he watches everything, and it's great to bring the Riyadh season brand to Australia. Just like I said about the global vision for boxing, Riyadh season has become the home of boxing as well, and very important to take that brand international and a big night for Riyadh season and boxing in Australia and the zone, of course, this Wednesday.
Yeah, well, there's a link in the description for you guys to subscribe, get it, and download it and buy it, the pay-per-view, simple, and go and enjoy. And you'll see this guy, no doubt, center ring on the mic, just pumping his fighters like he always does.
All right, mate. Great to talk to you. Thanks for the support.
All right, keep sober in the Gold Coast. That's half the challenge.
Always, mate. See you, mate.